Howdy y'all. So I was recently asked what apps I use to plant or what calendars, and honestly I am a chaotic planter, and I'm just gonna give you a little bit of information of how I decide and when to plant certain things. So right now is actually a really great example of what I do. And basically I have my blackberries that I just planted right along here. They look amazing. They're still really young, but they will get bigger. However, there was all this space in between. So I decided to do some research and look up what companion plants are great for blackberries. And come to find out, a lot of things are great to be planted with blackberries, and I just planted some of them in between my plants here. So now that it is warming up here in Texas, I know we're supposed to wait till the last frost, but I am bad and decided to go ahead and plant my seeds. Not all of them, I'm staggering it out. What I have found out with blackberries is you can companion plant herbs, flowers, really anything that is low to the ground. You can even plant onions and chives in the middle of your blackberry plants. And what I just planted was some daisies and thyme, cilantro, calendula, and dill. So we will see how well it works out, but basically I took a bunch of my hay out of here because really the hay is to prevent weeds and to help with moisture. So right now there is a very fine layer of hay over my seed that I just planted, but I just went ahead and put the rest of it into my potato towers, and now I'm just watering in my seed. But basically what I do is I find a focal point, like these blackberry bushes. They're not going anywhere. And then I start to kind of research around that. What will grow really well with, and like what I should avoid planting with blackberries. So that way I have an idea in my head of where I am going to be planting other plants in my garden right here. So what I found out is anything in the nightshade family is actually not very good to be planting near berries. It has to do with flavor and a couple other things. I believe some pests, but I'm not concerned about the potato towers just because they are not in ground with the blackberries. I really don't see how that is going to affect these guys. But as you can see, my next row over here, I planted a bunch of peas. So peas are good to plant near blackberry bushes. Cucumbers are not so bad either. That's going to go in the next row. But that last row right there is going to be for my tomato plants. So my tomatoes, my peppers, stuff like that will all go over there along with my basil. They won't cause any issues. I'm a chaotic gardener. And being that I am starting again from scratch, which I'm not complaining, it's very fun, and I'm coming up with with all the knowledge that I have in my mind now versus what I had then. I wanted it right then. I wasn't being patient about it. I'm really thinking about every step I'm taking, and I'm researching everything that I really do want to grow for my family that I know will be consumed here. So think about your goals, think about what your family consumes and eats, and really kind of hone in on that and research what grows good with it and what you should avoid planting next to it, and see if you have the space to do everything that you want to do. So my main focus this year is really getting specific things started. Number one is my blackberries. Number 2 is the asparagus, which should be coming soon, and that's gonna go in the garden that's gonna go over there. That is where the other garden was, my really large garden that I did absolutely love. However, again, we're starting from scratch. So that's where the asparagus is gonna go, in its own big bed that I will plant annuals with. Over here, I'm really trying to focus more on flowers and herbs and berries. So once the big garden gets started and my beds are made, the plan is to buy more blackberry bushes and make this whole in-ground area blackberries. I feel like it would do so well. The potato cages will be moved over to the big garden over that way. And I mean, this is just in my mind, everything is already set up. The trellises right here for the cucumbers and peas are very, very temporary. And then all I have to do is run more cable in between for the get the tension there to help support the berries, because it's very simple. And it really, the more it grows up, I'm just tying it off, and then I'm gonna train it up. And of course, trimming it back will help too, but I really feel like the blackberries will be number 1. And my kids go through blackberries like it's nobody's business. Blackberry jam, it's my favorite jam, it's my favorite pie. We consume a lot of blackberries, so I really think it will be a huge winner for us to plant a crap load of blackberries. But I mean, you can do a lot with blackberries. Now that I'm getting into sourdough and those kinds of things, making things like blackberry lemon bread or something like that. Like I want to throw it in there, or muffins, scones, just there's all kinds of things that you could do. Maybe we could play around with some marinade type situations, kind of like they have the chipotle raspberry. I bet you could do like a blackberry version of that. Just have to look at the recipe or just kind of make it up as you go. But I mean, I've got big plans and big ideas, and you want to subscribe right now so you don't miss any of it, because there's a lot happening up here and it's about to be on here.